Yo, what up? My name's Antonio Kanja. This is Should We Do a Podcast? We are running on video. Oh, it's got a weird lag. I like it. Anyways.
Hello, Antonio.
Hello. Welcome. All right. God, I'm so bad at
Have you ever hosted a podcast before?
Yes, but I'm so bad at starting this one. Anyways, welcome back to the show. The show is called Should We Do a Podcast? Today, my guest is ex-professor, still homie, DJ Prof. D. Tony.
Well, to clarify, I am still a professor. I'm just not your professor.
Yes, my ex-professor.
And I didn't want to do this publicly, but I'm also no longer your homie.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's going to make this awkward.
Is that why you invited me to your office?
Yeah.
Is that why I got called into the office?
Yeah, I tell my bad news to people in the office. This is weird. This is funny.
This is super weird.
know?
So how I always start these is asking people's relationship to podcasts. Like, do they listen to them? Do they have they been on it? But we've done this before. So you could explain to the people who haven't heard.
Well, okay, I want to answer your question just out of fairness to the routine, but then I will also speak to our special circumstances.
So in a more dignified manner or professional sense, I guess, because you're wearing a tie, so I want to be more professional.
Don't let my appearance dictate your behavior. I'm here for you.
What's your relationship to podcasts? How do you feel? Do you like them? Do you listen to them?
You know, it's funny. I used to be a huge hater of podcasts. When they first came out, I was stoked because this was like maybe mid-thousands, like 2007, 2006 maybe. When I first became aware of them, it was on my parents' home computer, like the big chunky Dell.
The fatback.
Yeah, the fatback. And we had iTunes, and I was allowed to use iTunes, but I didn't have money in it. So when they were like, bro, you can download these things for free, I was like, oh, I'm going to kill my parents' computer downloading free podcasts because it's free, so I can.
Yeah.
But, nothing. I really was into the NPR concerts that you could download for free. I was into those. A lot of bands that I liked did those.
And they just did, was it because I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, okay. So there are, I think, two different free concert NPR podcasts. One of them is those Tiny Room shows that like Mac Miller did one, Chance the Rapper did one. Tiny Desk, yeah. And then they also did a All Songs Considered, where they would just have a whole concert. And I remember being particularly geeked that there was a Radiohead show that you could just download for free.
So they literally they would just do a whole concert?
Yep. They would just do a whole
sweet.
concert, and they were partnered with stuff I remember the Radiohead one was from Austin City Limits, so it was it was cross promote. But now I'm all into podcasts. I found a few that I really like, and I actually, it's funny you're asking me this question. One of the reasons I didn't like podcasts was because I'm kind of a compulsive person. Yeah. So the idea of entering into an arrangement with something that has hundreds of hours of episodes was well, I have to listen to every episode or I'm a monster. I'm a piece of, I'm a turd. Is this a show for children? Can I swear on this?
No, you can swear.
Oh, okay, cool. It's you're the biggest piece of shit if you don't listen to every episode of a podcast. And I finally allowed myself to subscribe to a few daily shows, and if I didn't listen to it, delete. Gone. That's a power move, dude. Deleting an episode of a podcast you don't listen to, power move.
Because I can't say that I do that.
It's hard, right?
I have probably 10 shows that I listen to, and they're backlogged, and I'm like,
I don't even much.
And it's I don't even listen to this one anymore. I don't even listen to this one, and I just can't do it. I feel I'm you know what? I might go and check one episode out, but I haven't.
Yeah. So I have a few ongoing shows that I listen to. Right now I'm listening to this show called My Dad Wrote a Porno.
Oh my God, bro, I started that one.
Dude,
I started it.
So good.
I think I started it. How many seasons are there now? There's probably 4 or 5.
I think they're in the middle of the 5th.
Yeah.
5th or 6th.
When I heard about it, this was years ago, and they were on the 2nd season. So I was like, oh, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so funny. But I never.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's
fell
perverse.
Off. That's
it's
so
my
funny.
My wife. We used to listen to it together. She fell off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm listening to that, and I'm current with that as of yesterday.
Yeah.
And then there's another show I listen to called Star Wars Minute, which has I think 7 seasons. Currently, they're ongoing. What they do is they take each of the Star Wars films, And every episode of the podcast, they analyze a minute of the movie. So they did
1 minute,
all 120 minutes of A New Hope, all 140 minutes of Empire Strikes Back, and the season that they just finished this past spring was The Force Awakens. Mm-hmm. And just last week, I finally got caught up. So I've listened to all of their content. And if you're wondering how much content they have one episode for each minute in every Star Wars movie up to The Force Awakens.
Yeah, and you saying
so it's taken years. It's taken years to listen to the whole backlog, and episodes are anywhere between 15 and 45 minutes long. It's nuts.
For a single minute?
That's
nuts.
Yeah, it's a cool show, and they've sort of invented this whole genre because now there's a bunch of movies by minute podcasts.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of a couple. I didn't know. I feel like Star Wars is huge, and I feel like that's
a massive. These guys both quit their jobs. This is what they're doing right now. Sweet. They're like crushing it on Patreon. I'm not a subscriber.
I was gonna say, are you a Patreon?
Well, but now I'm out of free content, so maybe they're gonna come out with Rogue One early next year. They're gonna start doing that. But I primarily listen to podcasts when I'm like commuting or running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm running a lot these days. And, I work in Detroit. I work in Dearborn. So I'm commuting all the time. And I'm like out of new content. I don't have content.
Yeah.
So
you're caught up on all of your shows.
Yeah, I'm caught up on all my shows. It's such a good feeling. So I'm either going to get into music again.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to become a Patreon supporter of the Star Wars Minute guys. Or I'm going to, I guess, get into a new podcast.
Bro, so that's what actually I think I have one that you would really like.
What is it?
It's called the Teacher's Lounge. And
I'm one of those.
Literally
a lounge, not a teacher.
You just lounge around.
People relax inside me.
Oh jeez.
Please delete that comment.
Yeah, that one might get cut. People will be like, well, it skipped right there. Be like, no, you trust us. You don't want to hear it.
Your huge following is going to like get in your chest on Twitter and be like, dude, there was an error in your episode with Professor Degenaro.
All 6 people, they're going to be like, yo, that one's...
Okay, wait. Your parents, my parents...
That's at least... Nope, that's 2. My parents won't listen.
Oh, yeah, mine probably won't either. My wife isn't going to listen.
We're down 4.
Do you listen to your own shows?
I will.
I'll listen to this shit. So that's 2.
That's at least 2.
Nice.
Yeah. Wait, so your wife won't listen?
No.
My girlfriend will listen, so that's at least 1.
All right.
So
she'll skip around.
So she'll skip that part. So what was I gonna say about podcasts, bro?
You were recommending one to me, the Teacher's Lounge.
Okay, so the Teacher's Lounge, and I've been I don't do it justice when I explain, but the best way I can explain, it's an improv show with these 4 guys, and they made these characters who are just teachers at the school. Just randomly. Okay. And the show is, okay, so we're going to sit in this lounge and we're just going to talk about stuff that goes on in the school. But
I love that.
It goes completely crazy. And so they're on the 9th season now. And when I found out about it, maybe like 2-3 months ago, mm-hmm. I somehow got dropped into like the 6th season.
Okay.
So I'm like listening to it. It's the Teacher's Lounge, and they're talking about like working in a mall, and I'm like, what the? I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So I'm like, it was one of the ones that's behind a paywall. So it's like, we'll give you season 6 for free,
sure.
But if you want to listen to 1 through 5, it's on Stitcher Premium. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to do that.
Also, not to be like a jerk, but who uses Stitcher?
I do. I do now. Well, I went through because I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this random ass season, and it was so fun. Like, my stomach is hurting. It was so funny, just the most random shit. So I was like, okay, I'll listen to it. Bought into Stitcher, and it just like the progression is so crazy. So like the first 2 seasons, they're in a school. At the end of the 2nd season, they blow up the school. 3rd season, they make a new school.
We're in a school. You can't say that sentence.
Oh yeah,
we're in a school right
shit. I mean, he
doesn't mean it.
No, I'm not gonna blow up the school. They also blow up the Louvre. So it's just the most random shit. It's so funny.
So it's like an improv show.
Oh yeah, and like for the longest time, like the whole first time I listened to it, I was like, dude, these teachers are fucking nuts. Because I didn't realize it was an improv show, so I'm like, these teachers are insane. Like, how are they doing this? And then like I listened to like one of the behind the scenes, and it's like, yeah, so we made these characters years ago. I'm like, that makes so much sense.
That's really funny.
And I literally felt like an idiot. I'm like, they're talking about like working in a mall and being in hell. I was like, I should have caught on.
Yeah,
It's-
well, I mean,
it's-
teachers talking about being in hell isn't in of itself that surprising. To be totally honest, I'll let you look behind the curtain. It's tough.
so that's a good. I'll send you one of those.
All right,
That's pretty
that
funny.
sounds good.
But so that was another thing that what you said was funny because doing another one of these episodes, or maybe it was just a conversation I was having with my cousin. He's like, what do you because I was asking him, I was like, what do you listen to, like what music do you listen to? He's like, I haven't listened to new music in literally years. I was like, that's what I'm saying. And I was
What's
like,
his deal? Is he never in a car? Does he not have the internet?
well, that's so he's super into podcasts, but he only listens to the Joe Rogan podcast. Edmund, if you're watching this, you know that I
Grow up, dude.
talk shit about you.
How old is this guy?
Joe Rogan. He's 30 something.
You're in your 30s listening to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Honestly, I listen to it. Do you
Stop.
Do
What?
you ever listen to the
No.
Joe Rogan podcast?
You're college educated. Why are you listening to the Joe Rogan podcast?
Joe Rogan's kind of sweet. Not gonna lie. Anyways,
Joe Rogan's a dweeb.
but so hot take. Joe Rogan, if you're listening, Tony wants
What's
the
it
smoke.
like to come out on a podcast against Joe Rogan? That's got to be like against the rules, right?
I feel like
this episode's gonna get deleted from Apple Podcasts.
Joe Rogan is immediately gonna come from my head.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's bald head is gonna crawl up from the floor. Like, remember that Nickelodeon show, The Secret Life of Alex Mack?
No.
Okay, well, look it up. Secret Life of Alex Mack. She had a superpower where she could dissolve into a puddle of matter and then like move around like a slime. Joe Rogan can also do that, except that his puddle smells like Axe body spray, skunk marijuana, and shoe polish, because that's how he washes his head. He's bald, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm coming out anti-bald. Sorry, Dad.
I was gonna wait. Have you not seen Joe Rogan?
No,
Oh God. Okay.
he's bald, right?
Yeah, he's bald.
Yeah. Okay. No, I can picture him.
He's buff.
Because here's the thing. It's annoying. The annoying thing about Joe Rogan is that like a lot of people that I like and care about and want to hear opinions from go on his show.
Yeah.
You know, like
I listened to one from Edward Snowden, and I didn't know who that guy was, but I listened to. It's literally just like 2.5 hours of just Edward Snowden talking.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan says maybe 6 words, and I was like, that was pretty sweet.
That's interesting.
It was a cool episode.
Is that the mark of a good interview? Like you've
No.
done a few interviews. So
No, it's not.
Yeah, well, but I mean, I guess doesn't your audience want to hear more from your guest than you? And I
Yeah.
don't even mean that in like a,
No,
we're gonna
yeah.
make fun of Kanja kind of way.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
guess.
like I don't know, interviews are a really interesting like
dance.
genre. Yeah,
It's a
like
dance. I was listening to a podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
And he was literally talking about that. He's like, he would watch, who was it, when he went on Johnny Carson?
Yeah.
He's like, he would watch episodes of Johnny Carson and see when Johnny Carson was going to interrupt the guest to
Sure.
like make a joke. So he's like, I want to make sure that I get my point in before the joke, and then
Smart.
he can make his joke, and then we can just move on. So
Yeah.
I was like, so I mean, it is. It's
Yeah.
it's a skill to that point, but it's wild.
Who's your favorite interviewer?
I don't know. Maybe oh man, what's his name?
Don't say it out loud. We're gonna say it at the same time because I have
Okay.
my answer. So tell me when you have it figured out.
Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
David
the guy
Letterman.
from Hot Ones.
Oh, the guy from Hot Ones is good.
Sean Evans. Sean Evans. That's what it is.
That's his name, Sean Evans.
Sean
Yeah, I
Evans.
like Hot Ones. They're doing a campaign on Reddit right now, which is like another thing that I
Love Reddit.
hate it. But
You hate Reddit?
I'm an addict. I don't like Reddit, and I don't even want to talk about it. But I'm on it.
Okay.
People are trying to get Jack White to be on Hot Ones, and I think he would be really funny on Hot Ones.
Dude, a lot of people like I remember when Hot Ones was like a 10-minute
Yeah.
thing, and now it's like an hour-long show, like fully produced. I remember when they had one camera, and I was like, watching those 10-minute episodes is like, this is the best show ever. And I'll tell you, the most satisfying thing is watching Hot Ones while eating wings.
Oh,
They're
I
like,
love that. I love that.
Oh my gosh. It
Yeah.
just like, it's just a whole nother level of like, I'm in this.
That's like the opposite of watching a cooking show on Netflix while you're eating a dinner that you like did a really bad job. You know, like I'll get home real tired and be like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna have mac and cheese tonight, and then like watch
Put on Chopped.
You know, yeah, like watch Chopped, and they're like, in 3 minutes I assembled this beautiful Michelin rated dish, and I'm like, boy, Kraft is good. Eating hot wings while watching Hot Ones. I'm gonna do that. Who's your favorite Hot Ones interview?
I really like the DJ Khaled one.
The DJ Khaled one's so good,
bro. Not because it was insightful, but because DJ Khaled looks like a big bitch. He's like,
yeah,
bro, like what he copped out of like the fourth wing. He's like, nah, man, I don't do this. It's too hot.
Yeah.
I don't do this. And I was like,
Paul Rudd, I think did one. The Paul Rudd one is really good.
I haven't watched it, but I've seen the memes everywhere. And hot take. I used to hate Paul Rudd.
Why?
I don't know.
What?
When Ant-Man came out,
in movies, or just hated the guy? Like,
when Ant-Man came out, I was furious. I was so mad that Paul Rudd was Ant-Man, and I don't know why. I was just so mad.
Were you like a OG Ant-Man fan? Like,
I wasn't even that big of an Ant-Man fan. That's the thing. I was just sitting there. I was like, bro, fuck Paul Rudd. Why is he Ant-Man?
This will be the part that my wife hears, and she's gonna yell at you on Twitter.
Well, listen,
she loves Paul Rudd.
Listen. So let me get there. So I went and saw it. I was like,
it's a good movie.
I loved it.
It's really fun.
But I was even more mad because Paul Rudd did an amazing job. He was an amazing Ant-Man.
Okay.
He was so funny. To me, it wasn't so much action, but it was a funny and good movie. And I was sitting there. I was like, damn, now I fucking hate Paul Rudd because he's so cool and I want to not like him.
Yeah.
But then when the second one came and then when Avengers came and he just like, the more I saw Paul Rudd, I was like, God, just Paul Rudd is just awesome.
So this is like when you get a crush on someone in middle school and you bully them.
Yeah.
You know, you have a crush on Paul Rudd.
I like Paul Rudd.
You don't hate him.
If I were
Antonio, you have a crush on him.
If I were
Good
to
for
see
you, dude.
If I were to see Paul Rudd now, I would profusely apologize and ask for an autograph.
You know what every person
I would ask him to sign my face.
And then you'd never wash your face. You would have like the Takashi 6ix9ine tattoo, but it would just be Paul Rudd.
It would be Paul Rudd.
And then like the date that you met him on your cheek.
I'd be like, Paul Rudd, can you please sign my face? He'd be like, and you know, he'd probably do it. He probably seems like the nicest
You know
guy.
what I would do if I met Paul Rudd on the street right now? The same thing that I think a lot of people do. I would look at him and I would go, look at us.
Look at us.
Can you believe it? No? Or what, whatever, that stupid meme.
Just tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
He's like, oh man.
He's a good dude.
He's great.
He's funny. He's really good in movies. He's really adaptable. Paul Rudd's a G. You know what I want to see? I want to see Paul Rudd in a horror film.
Bro, I saw...
Because he could do it,
I feel like he could.
He could absolutely do it.
I saw a picture of him and his daughter. And for those watching, if you're looking at the screen, Tony is playing Twister on mute and just keeps turning back and looking at it.
I'm not looking at it that often.
And for people who are just listening, I'm sorry.
It's really great content.
Just want you to know that Tony is watching.
Do you want me to describe the scene for your listeners?
No, give your line. You're watching what?
1996 cinema masterpiece, Twister.
Featuring
Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, Alan Ruck from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Carrie Ewells from The Princess Bride. Princess Bride, yeah. He was Wesley in that, As You Wish. He plays a bad guy in Twister, though. Who else is in this? There's a older woman who played the mother of a criminal in a few Law and Order SVU episodes. There she is. In fact, this is really great for your listeners. Viewers, though, feast your eyes on the low fidelity of a VHS edition of Twister.
People who are listening, we are watching this on a 19-something JVC VCR.
Yeah, and hey, actually, you're calling out the VCR. That's a good segue to answer the question you asked 30 minutes ago that we never answered.
Wait, which one?
Okay. Well,
I've asked like three. I think I've started 3 or 4 things.
Yeah, here we go. This is about to be like, this is next level. Okay, now this is good interviewing. Good job.
All right, answer the question.
All right, so we're watching this on a VCR, and the reason I have a VCR is because Antonio and I came to know each other.
Oh yeah, I did. About podcasting.
Came to know me. You were a student at UM Dearborn, graduated last year. Congratulations,
gang.
And you were in my creative writing class, and we sort of both kind of independently of talking to each other in the creative writing class. went to work at Dearborn's student radio station, WUMD.
Shots out.
And we kind of became homies in that semester because that was the year of the Kanye West Life of Pablo tour.
Oh, yeah.
And you came to class the morning after the Kanye show, and every piece of clothing you had on was Pablo merch.
It was only 2. I only got a shirt and a hat.
Well, that probably cost more than that semester of college.
It was.
So
It was.
I can't blame you for that. But so we kind of figured out that we had some common tastes, and
Well, I knew during the first day of class when I was already pissed. I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in school.
Thanks, man.
And then just keep it 100. But then we're sitting in class, and I literally was like, I think it was on my phone. I was just looking down, and in the back, you're giving your spiel first day of class, and you're like, Kendrick Lamar says, "We gonna be all right," and I was like,
that couldn't have been what I said.
You said something along those lines.
It was a Kendrick Lamar reference, but I don't think it was all right.
I don't think it was all right. It might have been. I think it was. And if the homework comes up, just be like Kendrick Lamar and say, "Trick, don't kill my vibe." It was something like that. It was like a real cheesy.
It'll come.
It was a real cheesy reference, and I was like, I fuck with this guy already. He dropped a Kendrick Lamar
Day
random.
1, minute 5. Yeah, so we met in that class. I revealed myself as a rap fan, and we ended up both doing the radio station, and we had a show together.
Yeah.
And on that show, we would kind of interview each other. So
talk about music,
talk about movies, all this stuff. So we are used to talking to each other via microphones, with the weird assumption that there is a hypothetical audience somewhere hearing our conversation.
We already know that nobody's listening,
right.
but we're not shook by it.
Yeah. And the reason the VCR is related is because when I started school at Wayne State, where we are currently having this interview.
Shouts out. Shouts out.
Shouts out, I guess.
Go green and
Warriors.
Gold, Warriors.
Green gold. When I left the radio station, Antonio and a bunch of the other kids gave me a going away gift that was an old VCR that was laying around at the TV station, and the joke was that I'm old. The joke's on you goons. I have Twister on VHS.
Playing on a flat screen TV.
I have a flat screen TV in my Wayne State office because the Wayne State computer that they gave me for this office didn't work. So I do a little piggybacking off my laptop onto the 32-inch Sharp that also is playing Twister on VHS. So that's what you're missing if you're listening in the car right now. Unless you're me and you keep a copy of Twister on your phone, you can't be watching the movie. Yeah, I'm not going to prove it.
How?
I purchased it on iTunes.
So you have VHS.
Two copies of VHS.
Okay, 2 copies of VHS on your phone. Tell me you have a DVD.
Yeah.
Okay, of course.
So I have the Blu-ray, the standard Blu-ray release.
Yes.
I also have the deluxe DVD release in a softback pack. Remember when DVD cases used to be all cardboard?
Yeah.
Except for the plastic clasp?
Yeah.
That copy of the Twister DVD has a bonus feature that is unique to that release. And it's an interview of the director, Jan de Bont, who also directed Speed, starring Keanu Reeves. And in that interview, he talks about how he was really interested in filmmaking from a technical perspective. Mm-hmm. So part of why he attached himself to the Twister project was because he was really excited about the ways that technology could make the movie better, in terms of special effects, both audio and visual.
Yeah. I was watching it while you were talking maybe about 10 minutes ago, and I saw the CGI explosion, and I was like, I think just being spoiled and seeing the explosions that I've seen in all the Transformers films, mm-hmm. I know what explosions look like, but this one, for being from 1998. 1996.
And they did most of principal photography in 95.
So sorry. It didn't look bad. I was not gonna.
Well, that's interesting because a lot of the explosions in the Transformers movies are digital effects.
Yeah.
And
was that real?
All 3 of the major explosions in this film are practical effects.
Really?
So that thing
it's a real explosion.
They blew that up on a soundstage.
Oh shit.
So the tornadoes are computer generated. There's a scene later, spoiler alert,
Yeah, if you haven't seen Twister,
23 years old.
Yeah, so look,
spoiler, 23 years in the making.
Look. If you haven't seen Twister,
Skip the next 3 seconds.
It's 2019, but if you haven't seen 1996 cinema masterpiece Twister, please turn off the podcast and don't turn it back on. Anyways,
there's a scene when Carrie Yule's car gets picked up by the tornado, and they threw the car digitally.
That's not a spoiler.
He dies.
Oh, okay.
He's the villain in the film. The villain gets defeated
by
a tornado.
I don't think I've ever asked this. In as short a term as possible, can you just explain why Twister?
In as short a term as possible.
In as short a term as possible. Why Twister? Why is this? How many times would you say you've seen Twister?
In my life or this year? I keep a list.
I know you keep a list of this year. Let's go this year, and then we'll do. Wait, you have a list of all the times you've seen it in your life?
No, this year I have a note on my phone.
How many?
It's
times?
called Star Wars Twister Watch List 2019.
All right, so Twister this year, how many times?
You count. I'm gonna say the dates. Okay.
Gotcha.
March 11th.
1.
Feb 10.
2.
July 6th.
Those are not going in order.
Yeah,
but 3.
What do you mean they're not going in order?
February. Oh God, I'm stupid. So sorry. 3.
Oh, dude, you're right.
Thank you.
Okay, let's start over.
I felt stupid.
March 11th.
1.
May 10th.
2.
July 6th.
3.
August 18th.
4.
October 17th.
5.
And right now, October 28th.
6. So 6 times in 2019.
Yeah.
We're not done. We're almost 11 months in. So that's almost once a month. Wow.
Well, it's
almost. Not.
And I'll pick up the pace once grading really starts, because Twister, I've definitely watched Twister at least 4 times every year since it came out. I always watch it on my birthday. I always watch it if I take a sick day. Twister is the first movie I watch on a sick day. So you figure I'm watching it minimum 3 times a year.
Yeah.
So, 97 to present.
That's 22 years.
Yeah, okay. So, 66
Wow.
plus the 6 I watched it this year, 72. I would not be surprised if there were. I've probably seen Twister 100 times in my life.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And I just think that's dedication, and that just shows how much you love that. Because I'm not on that level, but I've seen Shrek probably about 20, 30 times.
That's a lot of times to see Shrek.
But I loved
Shrek is a great movie.
I loved it as a kid. We would play it on VCR or we'd play it on VHS, and it would go to the last song, and I'd run that shit back and just play it right. So I know all of those songs just from, Shrek is my happy movie.
Sure. Twister is my happy movie. And I mean, to answer your question,
yes,
why Twister in as short as possible, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry if my grandma listens to this, but just it's an awesome movie. It's like the perfect amount of scary. There's action. There's adult relationship. At the kind of action, the scary level. It's fun for a spastic 9-year-old kid. 9-year-old Tony turned up for the truck chase.
For the people who are just listening, Tony is hardcore staring at the Twister VHS box while he's going into this.
No, I'm actually looking at the framed promotional Twister postcards.
If you're looking or watching, they're right here. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because there's a kind of an interesting love triangle.
So it's got the romance, got the action, it's amount of scary.
It's funny. It has this really sharp sense of humor. There's this scene at the beginning.
Spoiler alert.
This is not. It's in the trailer. This scene, the scene when Helen Hunt's character famously loses her truck to the tornado and it picks it up. And her and Bill Paxton. His character's name is Bill.
His name is Bill?
His name is Bill in the movie. Bill and Helen Hunt's character, whose name is Joe, they're hiding under this little bridge and the tornado comes. And, they're running away from the tornado in the truck. They crash the truck. They get out of the truck. They're 20 yards away from a tornado. And their vehicle just broke. So they're they have to tie themselves to the bottom of this bridge made of wood with hopes that this tornado doesn't swallow them whole, right? During that scene, and I guess it's important to know too that like Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton's characters are recently divorced. That's an important in the film.
Okay, I was gonna
their
say,
characters in the film are recently divorced. They're getting out of the car. A tornado has just demolished a farm. It's roaring towards them, and Bill Paxton says to no one, "Why can't we spend a normal day together?" And like that's hilarious. That's so funny. So I don't know. It's funny. It's witty. It's surprising. It's scary. It's action packed. It's dramatic.
So is it just like a regular tornado, or is it like a special tornado?
The regular tornadoes. The like sort of mystic science fiction that occurs in the film is that they encounter the team of hero storm chasers encounter a mega storm, which there is some science behind, but the way
I can see it right here.
Yeah.
That's huge, and I feel like the truck would.
There's a
already get
line
sucked
later
in.
where they say that the base of the tornado is half a mile wide.
Damn.
Just happened to remember that. But the way that the kind of magic, the like mysticism plays out is that they, over the series of 2 days, encounter 5 tornadoes, and the tornadoes appear to them in progressive degrees of varying intensity. So the way that meteorologists measure tornadoes is on something called the Fujita scale, which is determined by a number of factors, including wind velocity, intensity for like
size,
pressure, whatever,
stuff like that.
And it's on a 5-point scale. So they encounter 5 tornadoes: an F1, an F2, an F3. So like they're not like mega shark tornadoes or anything.
The writers were like, okay, so how do we show that these are getting bigger?
Yeah, right.
Well, it's on a 1 to 5 scale. They're like, say less.
Just do it 1 to 5. But otherwise, I mean, it's some of it is crock science, but they at least tried. They at least tried. And interestingly enough, there's a real human being. A scientist. His name is Tim Samaras, and he probably wasn't influenced by the film because they were kind of working simultaneously. Like the movie was in production when he was doing his meteorology, but a real person built a thing that had measurement instruments in it, drove past a tornado, put it in front of the tornado, and then drove away. The tornado picked it up and it beamed back information. So like the plot of this movie happened in real life. Like a real person did what Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt do in this movie.
Yeah.
So it's not like
it's not total shit.
It's not like Star Wars. Like there aren't lightsabers. There is a machine that put instruments into a tornado that sent data to scientists. So I think that's kind of cool.
Damn.
It's just nice to know that somewhere in like eastern Oklahoma, this movie could happen.
That was my next question. Where was this at? It's Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's set on the Oklahoma-Kansas border, but most of it was filmed in a little town in Iowa called Ames, Iowa. And the reason I know that, among being generally spastic about Twister, is that I happened to I was working for this restaurant when I lived in San Francisco. Yeah. And the manager of that restaurant, this guy named Adam Brown, grew up in Ames, Iowa, and he was like in high school in 1995 when they were doing principal photography for Twister. Yeah. And he had a buddy that lived on the street where the production team was renting houses, and his grandma lived next to where Helen Hunt stayed when they were filming Twister in Ames, Iowa.
Jeez.
And he remembers that because they had like security guards watching the house all hours
at all times.
So it's just like a big bouncer looking dude standing outside like a very unassuming suburban Iowa house.
Yeah, in
Ames, Iowa.
In bumfuck nowhere.
Shouts out to our Iowa listeners,
bro. Oh no, I was gonna say I thought I had a cousin in Iowa, but I think she moved. Anyways, bro, that's wow. I don't think I've ever. Like I just heard you talk about Twister in passing. Shit.
There's the best explosion in the movie is about to pop up.
All right. Well, I think now is a good place to take a break so we can focus on that explosion. and then we'll come right back.
Sure.
All right, cool. Hey there, it's Antonio. This commercial is brought to you by me. If you like the podcast and you want to see other stuff, you should check out my website. I got pictures from a bunch of my trips, all of my vlogs, my short films, and some other stuff. Like these, and these. So if you want to get any of them, they're on the website too. Appreciate it, because right now, it's just me wearing them. So that's all I got. Back to the pod. And we're back. How was that piss?
And we're back.
And we're back. That was the second take we had to do about coming back, because the first one was weird.
It was a little crude.
Crude and weird.
But to answer your question, it was nice.
Oh, okay, cool. So then I'm gonna leave it in.
It's not out. It's a little off color.
It was? Dude, that's not good. That means
No,
you should be
your
drinking
comment
water.
was off
You need to be
color.
drinking.
I'm-
Is this? Oh my! This is
Water.
paint. He's drinking paint. For all the listeners, he's drinking a hydro flask full of paint. Anyways.
Yep.
So the next thing that I like to do once we come back from a break with the, oh my god, you can tell I'm slipping with a guest, is do a segment.
A segment.
A segment.
Wow.
So I thought. So I didn't realize we were gonna talk about Twister so much. So I'm pivoting my segment a little bit.
Was your segment about Twister?
No, that would be funny if it was like. So we had this. What is that?
The
Bees?
instruments that are meant to measure the tornado have just launched into the tornado. This is the climax of the film right here.
They look like bees.
Yeah.
Also, shouts out to the bees. Make sure you save the bees, people.
Yeah. You know,
Applebee's needs your money.
Oh, I thought you meant honeybees. I was like, shouts out to my parents and also my aunt and uncle who both keep bees.
Do they? My uncle
Yeah.
keeps bees, and he
Yeah,
makes
dude.
he sells honey. It's actually really good honey.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, the segment that I was gonna ask you is so you're not super into, like we were talking, Twister is not a movie that you like. It is
No.
It is a piece of your core.
Yes.
How much different do you think your life would be if instead of it was Twister, it was Sharknado? I just want you to run through that scenario.
Well, I mean,
Sharknado being the cult class, the movie with the cult following, classically bad movie where tornadoes pull up sharks and they just destroy a city. And there's 5, 6, there might be 7
I think
movies
there's
now.
like 7 now.
It's insane. So I just want
Didn't the
to.
most recent Sharknado weren't they like saying it was like the end of Sharknado?
No idea.
Yeah, you haven't seen it.
I just remember I saw the first one.
I've seen
and
a handful of the.
And I just remember there's one scene where like this small, like maybe 85-pound little girl is holding a chainsaw, and the shark just comes out of nowhere and is like about to eat her, and she just sticks the chainsaw up,
chainsaws the shark.
and the shark like falls through her, and she just like is standing
Around her.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and she's just standing there like with this chainsaw up, just being like, I just cut through a shark.
Dude, shouts out to that little girl. That's raw. How would my life be different if it were Sharknado instead of Twister? I mean, okay, I want to participate in this conversation.
Yes.
In like the way that you want me to, which is to say some funny shit and like.
I'm just
But
wondering.
I think, I mean, this is like a lame answer. I'm sorry to your viewers. I'm sorry to your listeners, but I think that my life.
We can go to the real segment after.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, in that case, I'll do this the wrong way. I think that my life wouldn't be different, and by that I mean, you know, I don't. It's not like I go and do things based on my love of Twister.
You've never
Although-
have you ever gone storm chasing?
No,
Okay.
no. Although, you know, it didn't work. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But my wife and I, one of our, we got married this past March, and
Congrats
thank you.
again. Congrats again.
And one of our honeymoon ideas, we were going to go to Oklahoma. There's a celebrity chef that Rachel is really excited about, who has a restaurant and a bed and breakfast, and it's like 2 hours from the city where the Oklahoma part of Twister is filmed.
Yeah.
And when they were done filming the movie on location, the city elected to not have the production company tear down the set.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a house that was destroyed by a tornado. In fact, we're going to see it in 1 second. And the city,
not the people
city,
who are listening.
The city, yeah, all right, sorry. The city bought it, and now it's a museum to the film.
Oh, that's
so
really
we were going to
cool.
go out to Oklahoma and go stay at the Pioneer Woman's Bed and Breakfast, go to a restaurant, and then drive out to Waukita and like go to the Twister Museum.
Waukita.
So I guess we wouldn't have done that. That wouldn't have been an option. Maybe we would have like gone to Miami, which I think is where Sharknado takes place.
Couldn't tell you.
But okay. And here's another way my life would change. 2 years ago, my uncle's father-in-law called me.
Okay.
My uncle's father-in-law called me, and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend? What do you have going on?" Or no, he didn't say, "What are you doing?" Because that means I'm going to invite you to something. He said, "What do you have going on?" Which is just a general your curiosity question.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh man, I'm so happy. I don't have anything going on. I'm just chilling. I haven't been able to chill in a long time." And he said, "Good, you're available. I got tickets. Me, your uncle, and this other guy. We got 4 tickets to Freedom Hill Amphitheater. We're gonna go see Judas Priest and Deep Purple, and you're coming because you said you're available." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Sweet."
Yeah.
So the day of the show, I was thinking, like I know a little Judas Priest. I obviously know Smoke on the Water, but like, who listens to Deep Purple? Our age.
Couldn't tell you.
Your age or my age.
I was gonna say,
because we're not the same age, unfortunately. So I'm like, okay, I feel, I'm an academic at heart, so I'm like, I have to study for this concert.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to Deep Purple on Tidal. Shouts out to Jay-Z. Shouts out to Tidal.
Shouts out.
I just put on like Deep Purple songs shuffled.
Yeah.
And a song came on, and I was in my office upstairs, playing Magic the Gathering with my classmate Austin. Shouts out to Austin for indulging my worst behavior, i.e. playing collectible trading card games. And
why? We'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come to that. So I have like Deep Purple deep cuts playing in the background, and a song comes on that I'm like, wait, I've heard this song. There's a song on the Twister soundtrack by Deep Purple. So now I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna see Deep Purple tonight.
I hope they play this song.
They sing this song that I've loved since I was 8 and didn't even know it, and they didn't play it. But the show is awesome. Shouts out to Mike Smithson. Shouts out to my Uncle Bill. Shouts out to Judas Priest and Deep
shouts
Purple.
out to everyone.
Just shouts out to the whole gang.
We gotta again. We skipped over it, but shouts out to DJ Miss Rachel again.
Dude, shouts out. She's a good wife. She's cool.
She used to listen. But
she'll listen.
She'll probably be listening
on her schedule. She'll listen. It's like next year, which I guess isn't that far away. It's the end of October. But so I guess I wouldn't have enjoyed the Deep Purple show in that specific way if it was Sharknado instead of Twister.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a stupid question because I can't imagine my life any other way.
Okay. Way to shit on my segment.
No, no. Okay. Well, here's another way that it'd be different. Would
you like sharks more? That's really the answer I was looking for.
Yeah, I would like sharks more. There. Is that what you want? I would like sharks. No, I want to say something cute. There's a big argument in my household about Twister.
What?
And this isn't like an opinion that it's not. Like a lot of people say this about the movie, but my wife gets really upset because during the end sequence of the film, when the F5 tornado is bearing down on Bill and Joe, they can't outrun it. Excuse me. Obviously, they can't outrun it.
Yeah.
So they're on this farm, and they find a water pump in a shed, and they tie themselves to this pump. And Bill Paxton has this stupid line where he's like, "These pipes go down at least 30 feet. If we anchor to it, we'll have a chance." And it's like this F5 tornado that like
is gonna
ate a semi truck.
Is gonna tear up
their
house.
friend. It blew up a barn. Like a pipe and some leather isn't gonna do anything, but they survive. And it's stupid because the tornado goes right over them, and they're in the middle of it. It's like the pressure would have exploded them. All the dirt and debris would have cut them to pieces. Like they would have died.
Yeah.
But it's a movie.
Right.
It's a love story at heart.
Right.
So on the day of our wedding, I've only been married once, so I didn't know this was a thing. But I think most people do this. On your wedding day, you're supposed to like give your spouse like a card. You like
a letter,
a letter, yeah, like a letter, or a card or whatever.
My cousin, they just got married. They did that.
So a few hours before our wedding, my sister-in-law, who was part of the wedding, brought up this card from Rachel. And she was like, "Do you have something for me to give to Rachel?" Like, is this really funny? Kind of like, "Do you have something for me to give to Rachel?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, So
the card.
So I like grabbed my card, and this is like some gift of the Magi shit. In my card, among many, 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 many other things, I wrote that
these pipes go 30 feet down.
Yeah, well, no, I said, I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. You're my best friend. I love you.
Dang.
I'm even able to forgive you for having your stupid opinion about that scene in Twister.
Yeah.
And in her card, to me,
she put the same.
She wrote, "I love you. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. You're my best friend. I can't wait to marry you, even though you have your stupid opinion about that scene at the end of Twister." So
that's love.
I guess it would have just been like what was pre-printed on the Hallmark card. It would have just been like, happy wedding day.
Sharknado was
X.
cool.
Yeah, right. It would be like
Remember that scene in Sharknado?
I can't wait to be married to you.
I don't want to cut you in half with a chainsaw.
I want to cover you and protect you the way that shark swallows that girl with the chain. It would be something like that, and that would be a dramatically huge difference in my life. So
okay,
yeah, no, it was a great question. My life would be hugely different without the film Twister.
Oh god, it's so stupid, so stupid. Anyways, so I was Be Kind, Rewind.
Yeah, the movie just ended, so I had to hit stop and rewind it.
Rewind.
I think I'm inspired by your Shrek anecdote. Yeah. I think I'm going to play it back.
That's it. You just got to make sure. Be Kind, Rewind. I never saw that movie by Jack Black. Or Jack Black was in it?
It's bad, but you have to see it.
Be Kind, Rewind?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mos Def is also in it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yassine Bey?
Yassine Bey.
Yeah.
Still going by Mos Def back then, but
December 99. Classically terrible album.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, so we talked a lot about. Wait, did we ever answer any of the questions that I asked you up top?
Which ones?
I don't remember. Oh.
No, you brought like an idiot. You brought up Twister, and then that was it.
Yeah, that was my fault.
It happened again. We talked about how it wasn't going to happen again.
So I guess so then we'll go to the predetermined segment. I thought this was going to go a completely different way, and I brought up Twister, so that is my beef.
That's on you, dude.
But I'm not even mad at it, because I didn't know 80% of the things you said about Twister. And now I feel like I got to sit down and watch it, if only just to hear the line, "These pipes go 30 feet down."
If we anchor to it, we'll have a chance.
So because we've been talking a lot about the Jesus is King album. Still,
yeah, not on this podcast, but
no, definitely not
in
on
our private lives. Yeah.
Because even though we have a history of sitting down and recording podcasts, like
sure.
Even though you said we are not homies anymore, we still
sorry.
Even though that news got broke to me maybe 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, you played it off like a champ. You're doing great.
I'm still powering.
Let me know
through.
if you need any resources to get through this difficult time. No, actually, you gave me an opportunity to spit about Twister. We might be homies again.
I need a med kit.
No, we're homies
for the burn.
You let me talk about Twister. We're good.
Yeah.
No ointment necessary.
Yeah. Sweet.
The natural aloe of the love of a friend will soothe you.
Jesus is King really just soothes it. But so we've been talking about this album.
Yes.
And it was supposed to be Yandi last year.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to the leaks of that, by the way?
No. In fact, I didn't really even know that there were a bunch of leaks.
Someone said I heard that the whole album came out.
Yeah, people on Reddit, because I was plugged into I'm not usually on it, but I was plugged into the Kanye Reddit during the rollout because I wanted to I figured that would be the best place to get info fast. And people on that community were talking about there being a whole leak, and I would ask people for a link.
Yeah.
And people would be like, "Find it yourself, asshole," or like. They would send you like a shortened link.
Would you get rickrolled?
And you would click on the shortened link and get rickrolled, or it would just be like a link to Google, which nice. That's nice.
Rickrolling is slept on. We should bring Rick.
I like
Rickrolling.
Rickrolling.
It'd be really funny if this comes out and like we put a link on Twitter and be like, hey, listen to the episode we did, and it's just a
I love that. I love
Let's
that.
do that.
Could we
So if
add
you're listening-
like a personal like a little inside joke about me and do that, but then also do same joke, different link, instead of linking to Ricky Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up, link it to like the trailer for Twister.
Let's do it.
Like
So
that would be like a good on brand joke.
So it'll be two links. So if you're listening to this and you're watching this, don't know how, but appreciate it. Because we're
we're not gonna send the link.
We'll put the links. They'll be somewhere. But
yeah,
so-
Rickrolls are slept on.
bro,
I'm
Rickrolls
with you on that.
are heavy slept on.
It's the ultimate troll.
I think it's so fun. Whenever I think of Rickrolls, I always think of like in college, I never trusted anybody sending a link because I got Rickrolled maybe the first week of college by one of my friends from high school. And I was like, they would be like, oh, like, here's this, sign up for this and you get free food on campus. I'm like, no, even if it is free stuff, I'm not doing it. I'm not
interested.
not clicking the link. And he's like, I would see them and he'd be like, did you click the link? I'd be like, no, I'm not getting Rickrolled. He's like, damn it. So like they would Rickroll.
They were Rickrolling you.
But I always think of this.
That's funny.
I always think of this one college. You know what College Humor is, right? The series. Okay, I just have to ask because every time I ask somebody, they're like, "Yeah, I know what that is." But I'm like, when I would talk about it to like people at U of M, they'd be like, "I don't know what that is." So I'm just asking, just for clarification. So College Humor is this website that used to put out videos and stuff. What's going on? Anyways, Tony got up and is doing something. What the? He put on Twister again.
Yeah, I was trying to not draw attention to it.
I can't. I get
It's really
distracted way
good for
too
your
easy.
listeners.
That's okay, they'll know.
The VCR that you and your idiot friends from CVN gave me.
Yes.
Whenever I hit stop, fast forward, rewind, or whatever, the TV loses the input, so I have to unplug and replug in
Plug
the
it again.
component cable,
That's super weird.
which is vaguely inconvenient. But seems how this VCR is literally only so I can watch my second copy of Twister on VHS at my office. I'll
it's
get
fine.
through it.
But anyway, so this just reminds me of
College Humor.
This College Humor video where this guy rickrolled his company because they were talking about like what was it? They were talking about like funeral arrangements, and he rickrolled the email chain. And whenever I think of it, I'm like, that's got to be the worst thing. And I know it's like a bit that they did, but I think it's so funny, but it's so fucked up.
Yeah,
that's what I think of.
That's
with
not
Rickroll.
nice. Although, I mean, humor is a really good way to like deal with grief.
Yeah.
So maybe
I want people to rickroll my funeral service. You know. Hey, okay. Have you seen that video going around on Twitter with the guy where he like did the voice
the
recording?
Irish dude that had the voice recording playing out of the coffin.
Yeah. And he's like, let me out. It's dark. Like that would be.
That's a little too much, I think.
I thought that was super dark. I thought that was
that's
up.
a little too much. I mean, and they say like the funeral is for the people that are living. Like that's not nice at all. It's awful.
Like if I just for my service be like, he put together his own slideshow. I'd be like, yeah, make sure you play this, and they go to play it, and it's a rickroll.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I don't even know how we got here.
College Humor.
No, that's what it.
Rickrolling.
Anyways, no. So the bit, or not the bit, the segment.
The segment.
What I was gonna talk about, because I thought we were gonna talk about Jesus is King, and
we
being closed on Sunday.
You my Chick-fil-A.
The number one with the lemonade.
Number one with lemonade.
I was gonna say, what are your top 3 Kanye albums? Because I thought this one was not.
Whoa.
Top 3.
Okay.
And then one that if you had to pick is like because I don't want to sit here and ask you to rank all of them. I'm saying top 3 and then one that would rank at the least. You can never listen to it again.
You know what? Okay, I'm glad you did it that way because actually, it's pretty. I think for me, it's pretty easy to rank the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are 3 easily best Kanye albums, but to rank all of them when you kind of consider that, a few are just extremely bad.
Yeah.
And then a few are extremely bad in comparison to the extremely good ones. And then also, like, he pivots in these really kind of dramatic and drastic ways. So, like, making no evaluative judgment of the albums at all. If you just say, like, listen to College Dropout versus Yeezus.
Yeah, completely.
If he didn't have such a distinct, like, voice and flow, you wouldn't know that was the same artist.
Yeah.
Okay, so top three.
Top three, and then your bottom one that you rank, you can never listen to again.
That I would dismiss altogether. Well, let me start there because that's super easy.
Jesus is King.
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. Let's see if do you accept Kids See Ghosts?
No.
Do you accept? Okay, you don't accept that because
No.
it's like. So then, Watch the Throne also isn't part of this.
No.
Okay.
Watch the Throne's out. Kids See Ghosts.
So it's got to be like mainline Kanye, just Kanye.
Yeah. Cruel Summer would be out too.
Okay.
I wouldn't even consider that.
Man. Okay, Kids See Ghost is easy. Would have been easy to drop. It's okay, but whatever. Yay, pretty easy to drop, but there are just a few moments of like old Kanye brilliance on.
Literally in like the 7 songs, there's like 3 that are like insane. And I what blows my mind
What's
is
the one? Is it the
I thought
Free?
Yikes. Oh
yeah. I like Yikes. Lyrically, Yikes is kind of ass.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's like some Yeezus
production and
type
flow. Stuff. Great rap track.
Yeah, Free. Oh, I don't know.
The one with Cudi. The one that is like a prelude to Kids See Ghosts, basically.
Yeah. But
and I feel free. That's
with Party Next Door. No, not Party Next Door. He's not on there.
Still the kids we used to be.
Yeah, that one. With
I like that song
07,
a lot.
070 Shake.
Yeah. But no, yay, seated.
Yay?
He's gone.
Yay's gone.
No cap.
Yeah,
Yay is out for
all
sure.
Right.
So top 3. Now, is this like, should I be like objective journalist? What are the 3 best Kanye albums?
No.
Or do you just want my 3 favorites?
You.
Okay.
Don't let your tie determine how you respond.
All right. So
your behavior. I think
this is really hard. This is really hard, dude. Because
I can tell you mine if you want.
Yeah.
So, number 1, like no comparison, College Dropout.
Okay.
And like to this day, like not that I'll ever forget about it, but like like when you haven't listened to an album in a long time and then you finally put it on and you're like, I just forgot how amazing it was.
Okay.
And like so like that's an album like I'll put on and like that's just like in rotation for like a week. Like nothing else, like just top to bottom, so sweet. And then I'd say Graduation is probably 2.
Yeah.
So College Dropout, Graduation, which is ironic for me considering my college path.
Yeah, you're into the narrative arc.
Yeah. And then I want to say Dark Twisted Fantasy, but even like
not on mine.
I don't think it's.
I love it. It's a classic.
Same, but
maybe the best rap record that's been released in our lifetime.
But I don't go back to it like that. Like when I put it on, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But I'm not like, what I really need to listen to top to bottom today is Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah.
I think. So that 3rd spot is hard. My gut is saying Late Registration.
Don't lie to yourself.
But
don't lie to yourself.
Yeah, I'd say Late Registration, and then if I had to drop one, I'd probably drop Jesus King. Yeah.
Fair. You're lying though. Drop Late Registration is not in your top 3. Pablo is in your top 3.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Probably Pablo.
You're full of shit.
Okay. So look, I was gonna say, I was gonna put a caveat for Pablo if I could drop it, only because that album.
That's where you became a man though. You learned what the world was really like.
Literally,
that album roll out.
It was not only I was not only in a really. I don't want to air anyone out. I was in a bad spot.
Sure, you just had a lot of stuff going on.
I had a lot of stuff going on, and then that album made me realize that like, you can't get excited for any album until it's out and you can listen to it. And even then,
sure,
he could pull it, they could pull it, change it, and put it out again.
Yeah.
So like the Pablo, I'd say Late Registration is out, and then Pablo's in. But like even going back and listening to Pablo, like, but I sit there and I like think of like the Floating Stage. That was amazing. That remix to Stronger. I have a shitty version on my computer that I shot it on my phone, and I was like, this is insane.
At Joe Louis, right?
Yeah.
Pour out R.I.P. Joe Louis Arena. Demolished now.
Can we drop an F in the chat for Joe Louis? So
yeah, well, and the reason I'm calling you out on Late Registration is because I want to put Late Registration on my list, but
I don't think
there's a lot of stinkers on that album, dude. The skits are bad. There's some songs that like
the one with Game.
The high points on Late Registration are better than anything else in the
definitely
Kanye
make
West
up for the low
discography.
points and like balance out the.
But that's not a front to back listen. Okay, so I'll do mine. This is really hard. And if Watch the Throne was eligible, this would be much easier. I want to say that.
Okay.
College Dropout, undisputed champion.
Easily.
It's his best record. It's my favorite of his records. Wall to wall hits.
Top
it's
to
got
bottom.
amazing singles. It's got incredible deep cuts.
Great
The skits are funny.
Yeah.
It's a great record. College Dropout is untouchable.
I feel like that's what Chance was trying to go for on the big day with his skits.
Yes.
I think he was trying to go for that.
Missed.
Flopped.
Missed.
Real bad. Anyway, sorry.
He missed himself with that.
Jeez.
Okay, now I, like you, want to be on some like scholarly Kanye fan shit and be like, Late Registration is a classic. It's got Heard Him Say. It's got Touch the Sky. It's got like
Hey
best,
Mama.
It's got the best Lupe Fiasco verse. It's got Hey Mama.
Diamonds from Sierra Leone.
It's got my favorite.
Late.
It's got my favorite Jay-Z feature. Not my favorite Jay-Z song, but my favorite Jay-Z feature.
Favorite Jay-Z song,
I'm not
go.
a businessman. I'm a business man. Now let me handle my business. Damn. But it's just not. That's not as listenable of a CD.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say number 2, Yeezus. For the same reason that you have Pablo in that slot. Yeezus in of itself, great album. But for me, the CD is great. The CD is just great. All of the songs are spectacular in really weird, dark ways. But the rollout was really fun to be kind of on the internet when that was happening.
Yeah.
I like remember where I was and what I was doing the day the leak dropped, which I downloaded. Sorry, Kanye. Don't send Chris Rock to shoot a bootlegger. I bought tickets to the tour. I bought a shirt at the tour. You got your money out of me. I got to see the tour.
Deep cut.
You know, I got to see the tour. The tour was awesome.
I wish I would have gone to the tour.
Yeah. In fact, I got to see it kind of 1.5 times because he did the arena show in Oakland. And then he played it at a festival in San Francisco. And I didn't go to the festival, but the festival was in a park. So me and my buddy Kilby, shouts out to Kilby, went to the park, and we were going to try to sneak in, but we couldn't. So we hung out on a hill near the park and could hear the whole show.
That's sweet.
So Yeezus is definitely on my list. And then I want to be fake and say Graduation because when that CD came out, that CD was a big deal to me when it came out. But like,
I just remember
that's another one. The highs are so high, but you listen to it now, and it's just
drunk and hot
dude,
girls.
I gotta listen to Barry Bonds and Drunk and Hot Girls before I can listen to Flashing Lights.
Yeah.
Skip.
See, I just remember my senior year of high school graduation. That entire year, the build up, I only played Graduation. So
Same.
To me, that's like
Same.
even Drunk and Hot Girls, Barry Bonds. I know
Barry Bonds isn't as bad as Drunk and Hot Girls. Drunk and Hot Girls is like the worst Kanye West song.
Definitely, but
probably not. But
even hearing it, like sometimes I'm like, I get down with it.
You get down with it.
I get down with it. Even though I'm sitting there like this is not good, but it's like Little Caesar's Pizza. Even though
time and a place.
Sometimes it's not that good.
Most times.
I wouldn't even
but
say most times.
sometimes you need a pizza for $5.
Definitely. And sometimes it just hits. Sometimes very, very far and few between, Drunk and Hot Girls and Barry Bonds, they hit.
They line up.
They do.
Okay. And see, now I guess I just said all that about Graduation, but like
Okay, so we got
Dropout,
College Dropout,
Yeezus, and normally Watch the Throne would be in here. And make no mistake, that is a Kanye West album. That's not Jay-Z. Sorry, dude. He kind of slept in that day. Kanye dominates that CD.
Yeah.
But, okay, Kanye albums only.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, so I want to say Dark and Twisted Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just objectively listen to it more than T-Lop. But I feel like if T-Lop were a tight 10 tracks, it would be no contest.
Yeah.
But there's some filler on. There's some filler on Pablo.
Definitely.
So I guess I'm going Dropout, Yeezus, Dark Twisted Fantasy in that order, with the caveat that Watch the Throne would be number 2 and Yeezus would be 3rd.
And see, what's during the Yeezus was the first Kanye West album that came out that I remember like being on the internet for.
Right.
Because I remember being in Target one day with my mom when
Shouts out to Target.
When Graduation came out. Remember when they had the big long rack of CDs?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I remember picking.
I'm older than you. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Thanks for not saying that, but
well,
you don't have to talk around it.
Well, I remember all of the CDs sitting there and picking out Graduation before I even listened to Kanye, and I was like, I like this one because it's got all the colors.
Because it looks sweet.
Yeah, just because it had all the
purple
colors.
and pink kind of aesthetic.
And I was like, Mom, can I get this? And she goes, no, it's explicit. And I was like, oh shit. So I put it back, and I was like looking back, I just remember that one sticking out. So I remember that was what I remember before so many years.
Sure.
To Yeezus. And I remember when Yeezus dropped and Born Sinner and watching movies with the sound off. I remember texting Merrick. Shouts out to Merrick. He's like, which one are you going to listen to? And I was like, I wasn't a huge Mac Miller fan. I wasn't a huge Kanye fan. I don't even think I was that big of a J. Cole fan, but I was like, fuck, if I have to shoot my shot. So I bought all 3 of them on iTunes. And I was like, I just spent $30 to listen to.
It's a good $30 though.
Oh my God. Going back, I play all of those albums back. They're
that was a good era.
So great.
Summer
all on
13.
the same day. June something, right?
Yeah.
June
2013.
Yeah. Damn. So yeah. So you got Life of Pablo. College Dropout.
Dropout uses Twisted Fantasy because I was on the internet when they were doing the Good Friday releases, and I was in college at the time. My roommate, shouts out to Matt Kitten, he was really into Kanye, so the new Good Friday song would drop, and I would be like, Matt, leave your class early and come back to the apartment, and I would wait for him, and we would play it through my little Bose speakers, and me and him went to see the Watch the Throne show. But remember, or if you don't, listen. That was the only tour that Kanye did around Twisted Fantasy. So there were 3 things happening at the Watch the Throne show. You got a Jay-Z greatest hit set. You got the Watch the Throne show with the 2 of them doing Watch the Throne songs.
And then
songs that they had features on. And then Kanye was doing a Dark Twisted Fantasy show.
Wow.
So okay, yeah. So this is my cheating answer since Watch the Throne doesn't count. Definitely Dark Twisted Fantasy and not Life of Pablo because of all that. The shit floating around, all that.
See, I would probably put Yeezus. Yeezus is a tight 4th. Yeezus and Life of Pablo. I think Life of Pablo is more memorable, but it's a bad memorable.
Right.
But Yeezus, I'll throw Yeezus on. Great. Top.
I mean, it's
that
just
one's top
the
to
perfect
mean.
length.
Mean.
Yeah, it's just mean, lean. It's what 33 minutes long. It's just, it's short but not unsatisfyingly so, Yay and Jesus is King.
I remember
Yeezus is a perfect little piece of
I remember that coming out and people being like, is this what everything's going to sound like? And I was like, I don't know. And that's what got me to go back and be like, oh, I understand the difference between Life of not College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, 808s, Dark Twisted Fantasy. And I was like, that one made me do my homework.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what he wanted.
Yeah. And he did it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Graduation is my close 4th. That's my close 4th for sure.
Except for Drunken Hot Girls and Barry Bonds.
I mean, like you said, time and a place. And the beat on Barry Bonds is pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Damn. Here's another jingle, Barry.
With Mos Def.
Yeah.
All right, Tony. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. So, how I always wrap these up, I'm gonna ask. We've already done this, but do you think we should do a podcast?
Well, I think yes, but with an asterisk, and the asterisk is, of course, we shouldn't. but but because we've done this before,
Of course we should.
yeah. But because
nobody
we've
needs
done
to
this
hear
before,
us talk even more.
we already know that we already know that this exercise is totally self-satisfying. Like this is for us. So
We
no,
know
we shouldn't do
we
this.
know people aren't listening. We spent 5 minutes at one point just being like, this person will listen, this person will listen, this person will listen. But you know what? You'll listen, I'll listen. That's good.
Yeah, so no, we shouldn't. But because we know people aren't gonna like accidentally listen to this and like waste an hour or 2 hours or however the fuck long it's been, yeah, we should do a podcast.
All right, there we go. Well, that's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time. A Tone Time production.